All right, so get ready because today we are going deep into Edgar Allan Poe's The Black Cat.
Ooh, spooky.
It is spooky, right? And
Yeah.
it's famous. I think everyone kind of knows about this story for its psychological horror.
It's a classic.
It's a total classic. And, I think the whispers don't really do it justice when you actually read it and you're like, oh, this is,
Oh, yeah.
it's dark.
It's dark. There's violence.
There's violence, death, guilt.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
maybe a little bit of superstition thrown in there.
A little touch of the supernatural.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah.
if you get scared easily, this might not be the deep dive for you.
Maybe skip this one.
But if you love the dark side of the human psyche,
In the right place.
you are in for a treat. Oh, boy.
It's so interesting to me how Poe takes something so, basic and, everyday as, a man and his cat.
Yeah.
And he just makes it into this spiral of self-destruction.
Yes.
It's incredible.
It's wild, right? So, okay, first of all, Poe throws us a curveball right from the beginning.
Yeah, he does.
Because our narrator is confessing his sins, but
Yeah.
he's on death row.
That's right.
He's literally about to die.
Yeah.
And he's like, let me tell you all the things that I did.
What a way to start a story.
Talk about high stakes.
Really. Really grabs you.
It really does grab you in. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, what did he do?
It just makes you want to know more.
Exactly. Right. And it's like a ticking time bomb throughout the whole thing.
It is.
Because you're like, well, he's going to get to it eventually, right?
Yeah.
Like, what exactly happened here?
We know it's going to be bad.
Exactly. And as he's kind of telling us things,
Yeah.
it gets even more unsettling.
It does.
Because he presents himself initially as
Look, this good guy.
kind of like a good guy, a gentle soul, loved animals.
Yeah, he loved animals, had a good heart.
And then something happens.
Something changes.
Alcohol becomes a big factor.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, he straight up blames the fiend intemperance for his transformation.
Right, the alcohol just brought out this other side of him
Yeah, exactly.
that maybe was hidden before.
It's like it unlocked something.
Yeah, like a key.
What he couldn't control after.
Right, and he can't control it, and he just keeps going down, down, down.
Down, down, down. Exactly. And I feel like Poe here is not holding back at all.
Yes, not at all.
He is showing us the dark.
He's showing the truth about addiction
Yes.
and how it can twist people up.
Exactly. And it's not just talk, right? He actually starts becoming violent.
Did you-
He goes from being
A loving pet owner?
a pet owner, taking care of animals,
Yeah.
to doing terrible things,
To hurting them.
to hurting them, even to his wife, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
It's just this crazy contrast from the guy he says he was.
Yeah, I mean, who is this guy, really?
It's really, it makes you question, okay,
Yeah.
is this even real? Is he
Reliable?
a reliable narrator?
It's really, it's
Yeah,
really,
I think that's one of the things Poe does so well.
well, that's one of the things that Poe does so well is that he
He makes you question everything.
makes you question everything. Yes, exactly.
And everyone.
So we got to talk about Pluto, right?
Oh, yes, the cat.
The black cat who really is center stage
Right in the thick of it.
in this whole crazy drama. And at first the narrator's like, oh, he's so great. He's so beautiful. He's so smart.
Amazing cat. Best cat ever.
And there's genuine affection there.
Yeah, totally.
Well, absolutely. You really believe that he loves this cat.
Exactly. And
Forever.
first, right.
Yeah.
And that's what makes his descent even more disturbing.
It really does. It's
Yeah.
how can you go from that to
Right.
what happens?
Yeah. It's like Pluto becomes this mirror,
Yeah, a mirror to his soul.
reflecting his crumbling sanity.
Absolutely. As he's losing himself, their relationship is changing too.
Yes, exactly. And speaking of darkness,
Ooh, getting dark.
the narrator mentions casually
Yeah.
his wife's superstition.
Oh, right. About black cats being witches.
Yeah, about black cats.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe they're witches in disguise.
Classic superstition.
Right. And he kind of brushes it off, but it plants that seed of unease in the reader.
It does, yeah. Is this going to be a supernatural story?
Is this supernatural or is it just creepy?
Or is it just Poe messing with us?
It's so good how he plays with that ambiguity.
He's a master of it,
Right.
keeping us on the edge of our seats.
And it's on the one hand, it's just building tension, tapping into that fear we all have
Of the unknown.
of the unknown, of
Yeah.
black cats.
Right. Black cats, spooky.
But on the other hand,
Could it be something more?
could it be something more?
Are there really forces beyond our understanding at work here?
Is Poe hinting at something?
It's brilliant.
I know. And then comes the moment that really makes your blood run cold.
Oh, here we go.
When in a drunken rage, the narrator commits this horrific act of violence against Pluto.
Yes.
He cuts out one of the poor cat's eyes.
It's so brutal.
I know, and Poe does not hold back on the gruesome details.
No, he doesn't.
He really goes there.
He wants you to feel it.
You're like, oh my God.
This is a turning point for sure.
Yes, this is the turning point, I think.
You can't come back from that.
No, there's no going back from this. And it's symbolic on so many levels, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's like he's surrendering to the worst parts of himself.
Absolutely. Losing control.
Losing control completely.
And it sets off this whole chain of events.
Yes.
That is just going to lead to his destruction.
Which, spoiler alert, I mean.
Yeah, it's not looking good for him.
He's on death row.
It's all downhill from here.
We know how this ends.
Yeah, pretty much.
But the way there is just so crazy.
It's a wild ride.
He does have a flicker of remorse after.
Yeah, there's a moment where you think maybe
he'll turn it around.
Yeah, like maybe he can come back from this.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's quickly drowned out.
By the booze.
By more alcohol.
Yeah.
And denial.
He is in a
spiral.
A downward spiral.
And every bad choice he makes just pulls him further down.
Exactly. He can't stop himself.
And this is where Poe introduces this concept of perverseness.
Oh, yes. Perverseness.
Which is basically this
urge to do wrong.
This, like, irresistible urge to do the wrong thing just because...
Because it's wrong.
It's wrong.
He can't help himself.
And he's not just, like, giving into his bad side.
Right. He's actively seeking out evil.
Yes.
Like something is compelling him to do it.
It's like he's fighting his conscience and he's losing.
Oh, he's losing big time.
Big time.
And it leads him to do something even worse.
Even worse, he does something unthinkable.
He hangs Pluto.
He hangs Pluto.
Oh, it's so awful.
No, the way he describes it too, with tears in his eyes.
You can almost feel his remorse.
Almost.
But it's not enough to stop him.
But he still does it.
It's heartbreaking.
It's so chilling. And like same night,
oh no,
his house burns down.
What?
Yeah, in a fire.
Oh my God.
His wife and a servant and him barely escaped.
So he's lost everything.
He has lost everything.
Wow.
His home, everything he's worked for, gone.
Is this like karmic retribution for what he did?
Is it karma? Right.
Or is it just a coincidence?
Or is it just a crazy coincidence?
I don't know.
It's so unsettling how Poe kind of...
He blurs the line.
Blurs those lines.
Between reality and supernatural.
Yes.
It's up to us to decide.
It's up to us.
But what we believe.
And the narrator says, you know, I'm above trying to figure out if there's a connection here.
Right. Like, he's too good for that.
But you know he's got to be thinking it.
Oh, he's totally thinking it.
Come on.
Deep down, he knows.
But then it gets really bizarre.
I bet.
Because as he's sifting through the ruins of his home, he notices something strange.
What is it?
A crowd has gathered around a section of wall that somehow survived the fire.
Interesting.
And on that wall, clear as day,
no way,
is the image of a giant cat.
Oh, that's creepy.
Right.
Like, how did that get there?
I know, and of course he tries to explain it away.
Yeah, he's got to have some logical explanation.
Like, oh, you know, someone must have thrown Pluto's body in the house during the fire.
Right, makes sense.
But that doesn't explain the perfectly formed image of a cat on the wall.
No, it doesn't.
It's like his guilt, literally.
Yeah, like it's burned into the world.
Burned onto the world.
A permanent reminder of what he did.
And he admits that he can't get rid of the image.
It's haunting him.
It's haunting him.
It's terrifying.
It's like a physical manifestation of his guilt.
Absolutely, he can't escape it.
But there is a little glimmer of humanity because he starts searching for another cat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like a replacement Pluto?
That looks like Pluto.
Huh.
Almost like he's trying to...
Make amends.
Make amends, right.
That way.
But, you know, as we all know, the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Yeah. Oh, that's not good.
And things are about to get even darker.
I can't wait to hear what happens next.
Buckle up.
Oh, I'm ready.
Because one night, while he's drowning his sorrows in a tavern...
Classic Poe setting.
Yeah, right.
Dark and gloomy.
He finds a black cat that is basically Pluto's twin.
Whoa, a twin cat?
Except for one difference.
What's the difference?
This new cat has a large white patch on its chest.
Oh, a white patch. Okay.
And he brings this cat home.
I wonder what that means.
It's like he's inviting the nightmare back into his life.
But with a twist.
But with a twist.
This is going to be good.
Right?
I can't wait to find out what happens next.
I know, we were just getting started.
This is going to be good.
With this descent into Poe's masterpiece.
All right, let's keep going.
Okay.
This new cat, the one with the white patch?
Yeah.
He's not exactly a welcome guest in the narrator's life, is he?
No, not at all.
It's like This cat is obsessed with him.
Yeah, it's always right there with him.
Always underfoot.
Rubbing against his legs.
Demanding attention.
Yeah, and it really gets under his skin.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It goes from trying to be nice to the cat.
Maybe trying to make up for what he did to Pluto.
Yeah, maybe.
A little bit of guilt there.
But he ends up just totally hating it.
Oh, wow.
He even compares it to, like,
Wow.
pestilence.
Oh, yikes.
I know.
That's strong.
It's bad.
So this new cat
Yeah.
is also missing an eye.
Right. Like Pluto.
Just like Pluto.
So it's almost like he's seeing
A reflection of
a
himself.
twisted reflection of himself, yeah.
That's going to mess with your head.
And that white patch on its chest.
Right, the white patch.
At first, it doesn't seem like a big deal.
Yeah, it's just a patch.
But Poe being Poe,
Oh, he's got something up his sleeve.
he slowly turns that patch
Oh.
into something truly terrifying.
What does it turn into?
A gallows.
No way, a gallows.
Gal.
Like the thing they hang people from?
Yes.
Oh, that's heavy.
Right.
Talk about symbolism.
So much symbolism
It's like a constant reminder of what's waiting for him.
of his fate, yeah.
He can't escape it.
No, it's like this heavy weight on him.
That's terrifying.
It is.
Like, imagine seeing that every day.
I know, and Poe is just so good at creating this sense of dread.
Yeah, he's the master of it.
Like impending doom.
You know something bad's going to happen.
Yeah, you're like waiting for the other shoe to drop.
But you don't know when.
Exactly, and the narrator's just falling apart under the pressure.
Yeah, can you blame him?
He's consumed by fear and guilt.
He's a mess.
He's a total mess.
And his poor wife.
I know.
She gets caught in the crossfire.
Yeah, she's really the only one who seems to care for him.
Yeah, she's trying to help him.
Trying to hold him together.
But he's just pushing her away.
And then it all comes to a head in the cellar.
Oh no, what happens in the cellar?
He tries to kill the cat with an axe,
Oh my God.
but his wife steps in.
To protect the cat.
Yeah, she tries to stop him.
Oh no.
And in a fit of rage, he buries the axe in her head.
Oh my God, that's horrific.
It's a turning point.
Yeah, a really dark one.
All of his rage and guilt
Just explodes.
explodes, yeah.
And he takes it out on the one person who loves him.
The one person who loves him, it's so sad.
It's tragic.
And then what he does next is just chillin'.
What does he do?
He hides her body
He hides her body.
in the cellar wall.
Oh my God.
Right, he walls her up.
Like a bricklayer.
I know, it's so methodical and creepy.
Yeah, it's like he's trying to erase what he did.
Like it never happened.
But of course, we know that never works.
Never works. And the cat is there.
The cat with the gallows on its chest,
Yes, that constant reminder
like a little Grim Reaper.
that he can't escape what he's done.
So the police come.
The police come knocking,
Uh-oh.
and the tension just keeps building.
Well, he's really good at that slow burn, isn't he?
The best. And the narrator,
Yeah.
he's trying to act cool, calm, and collected.
But you can tell he's freaking out.
Oh, yeah, he's sweating bullets.
Yeah, his facade is cracking.
And then he does something really stupid.
What does he do?
He boasts to the police.
Boasts. About what?
He's like rapping on the wall.
Oh,
The wall where he's hidden his wife.
He's taunting them.
Yeah, like, look how solid this wall is.
This is not going to end well.
It's like he wants to get caught.
It's like he can't live with the guilt anymore.
Yeah, like his subconscious is screaming to be free.
Oh, and then what?
As soon as his cane hits the wall,
Yeah.
this horrible sound comes from behind it.
What kind of sound?
Poe describes it as like inhuman.
Inhuman.
Yeah, a mix of horror and triumph.
That's chilling.
Like the sound of his guilt personified.
Wow, that's powerful.
So the police tear down the wall,
And
and there she is.
his wife.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And sitting on top of her body,
No.
the black cat.
Oh my God, that's so creepy.
I know, that image is just seared into your brain.
It's like something out of a nightmare.
It's like the cat is the symbol of his guilt
Yeah, like it's a physical manifestation of everything he's done.
and his downfall.
Wow. Just wow.
It's so powerful, and it leaves you with so many questions.
Like, was the cat just a regular cat?
Right, just an animal.
Or something more?
Something more.
Like, did it have a hand in his downfall?
Was it supernatural?
No and no.
Poe doesn't give us the answers.
That's what makes it so great.
It's up to us to decide.
It's all about interpretation.
Yeah, and that ambiguity is what makes the black cat so haunting.
You're left thinking about it long after you finish reading it.
It sticks with you.
It gets under your skin.
For sure.
So we've really gone deep into this story.
Yeah, deep into Poe's twisted mind.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up, right?
Yeah.
Like, is this just a horror story?
Is it just supposed to shock us?
Or is there something more to it?
I feel like Poe's always playing games with the reader.
He is. He's like a master manipulator.
You never know what's real and what's not.
Is the narrator crazy? Are the supernatural elements real? Is it all in his head?
Yeah, it's so unsettling, but that's what makes it so good.
It really gets under your skin.
It keeps you guessing, right? On the one hand, it's just this violent, terrifying story.
Yeah, there's a lot of darkness there.
But on the other hand, Poe's making us think about bigger things.
Guilt, addiction, consequences.
The dark side of human nature.
Exactly. Like, what are we capable of?
It's like he's dissecting the human psyche.
And showing us all the dark little corners.
That's what makes it so disturbing.
Yeah, it's like looking into a mirror.
And that black cat, I mean,
The cat?
is it just a poor animal caught up in all this madness?
Or is something more?
Right. Like, what does it symbolize?
A symbol of guilt, maybe?
A supernatural force, even.
I don't know. What do you think?
It's the million-dollar question, and Poe never gives us a straight answer.
That's true. He leaves it up to us.
And that's part of what makes the story so effective.
It's still relevant today.
It stays with you. You keep thinking about it.
Yeah, long after you finish reading it.
You're left with these questions, these doubts.
Even if you don't believe in the supernatural stuff, the psychology of it is just
So intense.
so real.
And that image of the gallows on the cat's chest.
Oh my God, that image.
So powerful, right?
It's like a brand.
It's like his guilt is literally marked on him,
And he can't escape it.
no matter what he does.
And in the end, he's the one who exposes himself.
Yeah, he boasts to the police he can't help himself.
It's like he wants to be punished.
His guilt is eating him alive,
That's Poe for you, always exploring those dark impulses.
showing us what happens when we let them take over.
It's a cautionary tale, right?
Yeah, like, don't let your dark side win.
Don't become the narrator.
But it also makes you think about empathy.
For the narrator,
Yeah, I mean, he's clearly a troubled guy.
yeah, he's messed up for sure.
His actions are awful.
No justifying what he did.
But maybe there's a part of him that wants to be understood.
That's an interesting way to look at it.
It's like he's crying out for help, but he doesn't know how.
And he ends up destroying everything around him.
And himself.
It's a tragedy.
Poe doesn't offer any easy answers.
No, he never does.
He makes us confront the darkness.
In ourselves
Yeah.
and the world around us.
It's uncomfortable, but it's also what makes him so great.
He makes you think
He challenges you.
and leaves you with more questions than answers.
That's the mark of a true master, I think.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into The Black Cat,
Yeah, what a story.
what a story. I'm left with one final thought for you.
Okay, hit me.
If that black cat is something more than just an animal,
Yeah.
what do you think it represents?
Ooh, good question.
Is it guilt, madness, something else entirely?
I don't know. It's up to each individual to decide.
Let that simmer in your mind.
Yeah, think about it.
And until next time, keep exploring those dark corners of literature.
You never know what you might find.
Who knows what truths you might uncover.